Yaha! Good morning! Hello! Good afternoon, good evening. I'm Ruuna Starbright. I'm a fallen star from the constellation of Aries. Hi! How is everyone today? It has... it has been a day. I'm here today to bring you some stories that are not related to current affairs. I hope you enjoy these horror stories, because I know that after everything that's happened over the past few weeks, yeah, some horror stories that are not necessarily real are pretty are pretty relaxing, you know? Yay! Okay, I hope that my chat's working. It should be working. Ugh. It should be working. So, I can't stay for that long today, so I will start reading pretty soon. I have some very strange SCPs today. It's been a while since we read SCPs, right? We didn't read it last week, so let's make up for it this week. There is one that says, it just straight up says taboo. The story is just taboo. There's no SCP number, it's just taboo. And then there is a really popular one, SCP-682, which is a really popular SCP about a undying monster, and another SCP-455. It's actually my first time hearing about SCP-455, but it's apparently pretty scary, so yeah, I'll be keen to read that as well. But without any further ado, let's go in to SCP reading. And this time, I will remember to turn on my filter and bring out my notepad. Booga! Oh, hi Sino! Welcome back to the stream! I'm glad you can make it today. Thank you for making it. Reading some creepy stories today. Alrighty. So the first one, instead of the typical SCP number, it just says redacted per protocol 4000 issue. Hi Zio, hello. Also, I changed up some mic settings today for my stream because I was trying out another mic setting, and I think that maybe yesterday was okay because I was talking pretty loudly, but if I talk quiet, my voice gets cut off at times, right? So I changed up those settings. Hopefully it should be fine today. Yeah. So this is SCP Redacted. I have a warning on my files that says the following anomaly is affected by communication. Do not refer to it in speech or writing unless trained. We're breaking so many protocols right now. But this image I have on the screen here is figure 1.1. It is a native humanoid entity manifesting mid-air. And the item of today is actually restricted per protocol 4000 issue. And the object class is Keter. So, special containment procedures. The extra-dimensional location described below, as well as the entities and landmarks contained therein, are nomenclative hazards of issue class and therefore may not be referred to by any name, title, or designation. Only descriptions may be used when referring to the forest outside normative space and native entities thereof. Variations must be made in these descriptions each time a subject is described. Descriptions may be color-coded for clarity, and florid language may be used for the sake of nomenclative diversity. In the event of a nomenclative containment breach, standard issue class recontainment protocol must be carried out immediately by the individual responsible for the breach. If the individual is rendered unable to perform the procedure, the responsibility falls to the individual's next of kin. If the individual responsible for the breach has no known next of kin, the individual's name must be expurgated from all existing documents and records. Any other individuals possessing the same name are to be administered type G viral amnestics and assigned a new one. In accordance with Order 05-4000 F26, at least one successful expedition into the strange and dangerous woodland area must be carried out per year to assess any deviation from baseline abnormality. Due to the high risk involved in entering the place where the nameless are found, personnel sent in to conduct research must be trained in standard exploration protocol as detailed in 4000 SEP. Unauthorized documentation of the forest found in chimneys must be suppressed via standard information containment protocol. Unauthorized individuals with knowledge of Procedure 4000 Holloway are to be administered amnestics and may be released following a period of disquisitional rehabilitation. The description says, the SCP in question is a extra-dimensional forested area with numerous anomalous qualities, including a hazardous nomenclative phenomenon. This anomalous location is accessed by performing 4000 Holloway, see document DOC 4000H. After completing the procedure, subjects emerge from the opening of a dilapidated brick well fixed into the forest floor. See Figure 1.2. The only way to reliably traverse the untrained... here we go, kids! Oh my gosh, I picked a SCP with big words for my warm-up for today. It's reading practice time. The only way to reliably traverse the unusual terrain is by use of a single dirt path. Explorations that diverge from said route have resulted in immediate loss of contact with participating subjects. The sole safe road may only be traversed in a single direction, and any attempt by subjects to turn back and return the way they came will result in similar loss of contact. The unnamed well does not adhere to the constraints of linear space. Cartographic endeavors have resulted in vastly different routes being recorded with each expedition, and sections of the mandatory trail, which should logically overlap or intersect, do not. The only consistency in the layout is the access point, which is always located at both ends of the main road. The only way for a subject to safely exit the woods, which have no name after they have begun following it, is by walking its entire length and returning to the place where they began at the opposite end. A variety of abnormalous entities native to the nameless habitat have been documented. Native entities often undergo changes in physical structures when unobserved, which has made it difficult for researchers to determine which recorded entities are unique beings and which are newer iterations of those previously documented. Entities claim they have no control over these changes and frequently express dissatisfaction when they occur. Native entities often obstruct the trail which the subject tread, making it necessary for the subjects to interact with them to progress. Native entities are sapient and often highly temperamental, but can be interacted with safely as long as 4000 SEP precautions are followed. Consequences for disregarding these precautions will vary depending on the personality of the affected entity. Degrees of retribution encountered by research subjects have included verbal rebuke, acts of violence, and abnormalous alteration of the subject's physical, conceptual, or nomenclative attributes. Hello Vivian, welcome back to the stream. And also chat, I have to admit, I do not know what nomenclative means. Oh, it is apparently relating to the act of naming or a name. Which, like, it's words for me. It means words to me. These are just words put in a sentence that I do not know what it means. I guess it's just the act of naming. To not have a uncultured VTuber read SCPs to you. She can't explain them. All I know is they're creepy. Various anomalous phenomena may occur when consistent nomenclative is applied to the realm of the unnameable, its native entities, or its landmarks. These phenomena are still poorly understood, partially due to the prohibition of nomenclative experimentation under Order 05-4000 F26. Documented nomenclative phenomena have included episodic cluster headache among subjects exposed to the affected nomenclature, visual and auditory hallucinations among exposed subjects, usually involving environments or entities described by nomenclature, gustatory hallucinations, and phantosmia have also been reported in a small subset of cases. Sudden onset of psychogenic amnesia among exposed subjects, the development of non-human physical characteristics among the exposed subjects, such as feathers and pollen sacs. Can you imagine naming something like, oh, look at that bird, and then you develop sacs? That's it. I'm never naming anything. Do not give me pollen sacs. The development of biological components in non-biological mediums where nomenclature is written or recorded. Sudden involuntary transport of exposed subjects to the wilderness of unnamed things without the use of procedure 4000 Halloway. It also includes manifestation of various flora within indoor spaces where nomenclature was used. Sudden transport of native entities to areas where nomenclature was used. Biological fusion of exposed subjects and native entities, biological fusion of native entities and architectural spaces where nomenclature was used, or extreme iron deficiency in exposed subject with an absence of expected negative side effects. You know, I'll take that. I'll take the iron deficiency without negative effects. It's just me. I'm iron deficient. I don't leave the house. Order 05-4000 F26 was ratified by the Overseer Council in 1954. A 1970 amendment requires that 05-4000 F26 receive unanimous endorsement from the Council every 10 years in order to remain in effect. To date, no Overseer memos regarding 05-4000 F26 have been disseminated to lower clearance levels. Next are some contents that we can open up. It says notable containment breaches. And I have put in a request for notable containment breaches. The access is granted. So, addendum. The following are examples of anomalous phenomena observed during nomenclative breaches. The first breach is on June 9th, 1954, which was ratified, which was the year that Order 05-4000 F26 was ratified by the Overseer Council. The named subject is the glade of which we seldom speak. And the summary describes: initial discovery and subsequent breach took place in an abandoned home in rural Connecticut. Circumstances of the discovery are unclear due to a lack of surviving personnel, but a general timeline of events have been established. Timestamps are in standard and NATO format. First is 1340S. The hollow of unspoken titles is discovered and given a temporary Type E designation by Field Agent Garrett Bradley, creating nomenclative breach. 1345S. Field Agent Miura Denotti enters the land beyond the flue and is never recovered. 1347S. Agent Bradley begins gradually sinking into the hardwood floor. Nearby agents flee the area. 1348S. Soon after exiting the house, all agents are suddenly rendered immobile, with the exception of Timothy Woods, who was not aware of the Type E designation. 1349S. Immobilized agents vocalize distress as their torsos elongate. 1351S. Elongation ceases after agents have reached a height approximately that of the chimney, where procedure 4000 Halloway was performed. Smoke expels from the facial orifices. Timothy Woods report these developments via radio to Site 08. Secondary breach is caused when Timothy Woods repeatedly uses the phrase, the redacted, to describe the world where words have power. 1355S. Timothy Wood states that he sees his name in the trees. Site-08 personnel presses Timothy Woods for further information. Timothy Wood attempts to orally consume his radio and soon expires from internal injuries. 1359S. Timothy Woods' correspondents in Site-08 are observed suffering from severe headaches and are placed under quarantine. 1424S. Osteos protrusions resembling tree branches emerge from the orbital cavities of quarantined Site-08 personnel. Personnel reports no physical discomfort despite exhibiting full globe luxations in both sockets. Afterwards, nomenclative abnormality eventually discovered after numerous cycles of multivariable D-class exposure to affected Site-08 personnel. The second breach is of December 22nd, 1955. The subject name is the footpath which loops around the entire area. The summary describes Desk completed the first successful exploration mission in the grove beneath nameless stars and was immediately quarantined. After exhibiting no abnormalous effects for 72 hours, Desk was then allowed to write an account of his experiences. When researchers returned to check on his progress, Desk had vanished. Traces of soil and human tissue were later found in the pencil, paper, and Harvey Mansfield Desk had used in his writing. Do you think they called him Desk because he disappeared at a desk? What a way to go, Desk. The next is a breach on August 19th, 1958. The named subject is the native entity that sits atop a throne of bones and cradles a flaming child. The summary describes: after completing a exploratory mission, Field Agent Ethan Mercy used the same epithet several times when describing a particular native entity. Several minutes later, he complained of a severe nausea and began to vomit blood and bone marrow. Over the course of several hours, Agent Mercy was reported to have somehow orally expelled most of his bones. Personnel throughout Site-08 experienced auditory hallucinations of a woman's laughter for the next several days. Following is a breach on March 4th, 1966. The named subject is the native entity that resembles a feathered lion with a skeletal ram's head. It's me! It's Ruuna Starbright! I'm a ram! It's me! I can't believe I'm an SCP. Oh my gosh. The named subject I have described. The summary is that of a college student, Vanessa Hayworth, attempted to check into numerous medical facilities in and around Portland. Hello, Michelle! Welcome to Spooky Story Time. Welcome back. Okay, so she has attempted to check into numerous medical facilities in and around Portland, Oregon, complaining that her head had become covered in flesh, despite exhibiting known signs of unusual tissue growth. She was eventually detained by Foundation investigators and found to be in possession of a book that described, among other things, Procedure 4000 Holloway in its entirety. After stipulating that Foundation personnel assist in removing the flesh from her head if she cooperated, Hayworth confessed that she had received the book from an acquaintance in the Wanderer's Library. Afterward, this was the first known case of a civilian-triggered nomenclative breach. Similar incidents have occurred intermittently since. In 2012, a native entity was photographed that superficially resembled a young Hayworth. See Figure 1.1. More than 2 decades after Hayworth died in Foundation custody. Then, this image that we have on the screen must be that of the dead Hayworth. The last breach is on October 30th of 1992. The subject name, is the house which Michael Ashley Vincent spent several nights during his exploratory mission. Summary: Agent Michael Ashley Vincent, who had completed a exploratory mission several years prior, used the possessive phrase "redacted house" several times when recounting stories to two of his colleagues, who have not names. Sometime later, a large brick building manifested inside Site-08, intersecting with existing architecture. Michael Ashley Vincent's headless body was found inside, seizing violently and fused at the neck to a light fixture made of elk antlers. His face, which did not appear animate, had enlarged to take up the entire surface of the building's floor. Field agents, sent into the face's mouth, found that it did not possess a full digestive tract. However, Michael Ashley Vincent's nameless colleagues were reported to have been conjoined via its vulva. And after reading so much about 4000 Holloway, we finally get to read what it's about. I am requesting doc 4000H, and the access is granted. 4000 Holloway. The following is a censored list of instructions for accessing the Horizon Beyond labels. Certain steps have been omitted in this version of the document. Phrases and counterphrases at the end of the procedure will differ depending on the subject's type category. For example, the oldest child in the family, type 1, the middleborn, type 2, or the youngest and only child, type 3. First, using organic kindling, start a steady flame within any indoor fireplace. Step 2. Combine the powdered bones of a male red fox of any age, or an adult male lion, and a baleen whale of any age and gender. Cast the mixture into the fire. Step 3. Take an easily burnt personnel possession of strong sentimental value and allow the fire to consume it. Step 4. Carefully release 3 feathers from any black plumed bird of the genus Corvus over the fire and allow the smoke to carry them up the flue. Step 5. If the fire begins to emit vocalizations, respond with the appropriate counterphrase. See phrases and counterphrases below. Number 6. If the corrected statements are given, the fireplace will expand and the ladder will descend. The fire will then be harmless. Step 7. If incorrect statements are made for any reason, immediately apologize and do not attempt Procedure 4000 Holloway again at any point in the future. An extra note. Individuals who are present during Procedure 4000 Holloway but were not the one conducting Procedure 4000 Holloway must not respond to any vocalizations or approach the active fireplace under any circumstances. I also have a list of phrases and counterphrases. So, variant 1 for the oldest child, type 1 subjects, the phrase will be, "These woods have rules." The counterphrase would be, "Also they say." The next phrase would be, "And if you break them," the counterphrase would be, "A price I'll pay." Variant 2 for type 2 subjects, the eldest child, would be the phrase, "Is someone there?" Counterphrase would be, "That's only me." Phrase, "And who are you?" Counterphrase, "I guess you'll see." Finally is variant 3. The phrase, "What do you seek?" Counterphrase, "To walk the trees." Phrase, "Now mind your manners." Counterphrase, "To walk them, please." That is the end of document 4000 Holloway. Next is 4000 SEP. It is a request for standard exploration protocol, and after the access is granted, I access the document that starts with the note. The following is a truncated list containing only instructions that are crucial to survival. Personnel assigned to explorative duties must also familiarize themselves with 4000 SEP 3 through 8 before embarking. Hoshino Neko! Hello! Hello! Spooky story time. Step 4000. 4000 step 1. Also, it's my first time seeing you on Twitch. Hi Isabella, welcome back to the stream. Okay, step 4000. I keep on reading it wrong. I'm dyslexic, almost. I keep on switching the words around. 4000 step 1. General guidelines for exploration. 1.01. First, you must be equipped with a standard Foundation expedition pack prior to entering the place where names are not allowed. Step 1.02. Do not consume any food other than the rations included inside the standard Foundation expedition pack. Step 1.03. Do not bring firearms into the dimension trees under any circumstances. 1.04. Type 1 subjects must avoid accepting or directly handling that which could be considered a valuable resource. This includes, but is not limited to, forms of currency, precious metals and stones, objects imbued with useful animalist properties, and well-crafted weaponry. Step 1.05. Type 2 subjects must avoid any native entities that regard the subject with affection or romantic attraction, and must not give the appearance of reciprocating these feelings in any way. Statements made by a native entity which profess affection or romantic attraction for a Type 2 subject are false. Step 1.06. Type 3 subjects must avoid partaking in activities that are commonly considered frivolous, luxurious, or physically comforting. This includes, but is not limited to, dancing, smoking, playing with toys, drinking anything other than water, listening to music, and sleeping on a padded surface. Wow, that's rough! That's so rough! Step 1.07. Structures encountered along the way you must not travel may be entered after knocking at the entryway, leaving the structure from where you came. If entering uninvited, do not be discovered. Step 1.08. If you fall asleep in the woods where rules are paramount, record your dreams. A journal is included in your expedition pack. If you encounter any landmarks or entities similar to a dream you recorded, treat the dream as a fact. There is 4000 Step 2. Guidelines for interacting with native entities. 2.01. Greet native entities with any formal salutations before engaging in conversation. If female, bow or curtsy. Step 2.02. Speak in a cordial tone of voice. Step 2.03. Do not make any statements that you know to be false. 2.04. Do not make disparaging comments about native entities while in their presence. 2.05. Say please and thank you when appropriate. 2.06. Refer to and address native entities using descriptions of their physical appearance per Protocol 4000 SU. 2.07. Do not refer to a native entity by name, title, or designation, even if it introduces itself as such. 2.08. Do not state your name, nickname, codename, alias, or any other personnel designation when in the presence of a native entity. 2.09. If a native entity offers to assign you a name, title, or designation, politely decline. 2.10. If a native entity makes a statement in which it addresses or refers to you by a name, title, or designation, or anything other than a physical description, ignore the statement as though it has not been spoken. 2.11. If pressed for information that is considered confidential, refuse, briefly apologize, and bow. 2.12. If a native entity appears to require your assistance, consider its appearance before choosing to help. If it is in the case of 2.12a, if the entity appears threatening, do whatever is necessary to aid it. If it's in the case of 2.12b, if the entity appears attractive or harmless, do not approach. It's a thirst trap. I thirst trap. If in the case of 2.12c, always feed a native entity if it is hungry. This overrules 2.12b. Now for 2.13, do not attempt to mount any bestial entities you encounter unless it has earned your trust and given you its consent. Step 2.14, if you are offered a physical gift, receive it with both hands. Do not discard this gift, even if it appears to have no use or value. This is overruled by step 1.04, which states that if it is a valuable resource, you must avoid it at all costs. Step 2.15, if a native entity offers you a non-physical gift or attempt to initiate a trade, politely decline. 2.16, you may accept food offered by native entities and offer that food to other native entities you encounter, but do not consume it yourself. 2.17, do not sleep in any lodgings offered by native entities. You may sleep inside the residence of a native entity as long as you do not have an invitation to do so. Step 2.18, if a native entity offers to accompany you on your journey, accept, but do not tell them where you are going. Step 2.19, if you are aided by a native entity, you must aid it in return if you have not done so already. The final step, 2.20, if you encounter an incorporeal humanoid that claims it is not a native entity, disregard all previous protocols and follow its instructions. That is the end of Standard Exploration Protocol. Now finally, we have access to interview 4000-0215. I put in a request and it is denied. The data has been expunged. Another request for interview 4000-0215 with the credentials Jaspers and some codes, and the access will be granted. Hello, Dr. Jaspers. This is the interview archive of 4000-0215. The following is a series of interviews conducted by Dr. Eugene Jaspers over the course of several years. This data has been expunged from all general documents under Order 05-4000-F26. First is Encounter 1. The interviewer is Dr. Eugene Jaspers, and the interviewer description is that of a native entity with a head resembling that of a rabbit's. The foreword. Interview conducted in 2005 during Dr. Jaspers' first expedition into the space where speech is deadly. Begin log. Good morning, strange traveler. Dr. Jasper says, good morning. The interviewee says, it's nice to see a new face around these parts. Kindly excuse the smoke, just airing my thoughts. How is your name? Dr. Jaspers? How is? I'm sorry, I'm afraid I can't tell you that. Then Dr. Jasper bows. Are you simple? I'm merely asking how your name is. My name has smelled of raspberries lately. I think... or snapdragons, perhaps. It's so hard to tell these days, but one makes an effort. Dr. Jaspers. Ah, my apologies. I'm afraid my name has tasted rather tart as of late. Leporine entity laughs and doffs its hat. No, I'm the one who should apologize. I should not have pride. Dr. Jaspers. It's quite alright. I don't mind at all. It's been lovely to meet you, but I must be on my way. Must you, though? My home is close by, and I was hoping to invite you in for tea. Dr. Jasper bows again. I'm terribly sorry, but unfortunately I cannot stop at this moment. Perhaps another day. Very well. Until next time, stranger whose name tastes rather tart. And that is the end of log. I also have Encounter 2. Again, the interviewer is Dr. Eugene Jaspers, and the interview description is the gentleman with a leporine visage. Forward. Interview conducted in 2008, 3 years later, during Dr. Jasper's 4th expedition into that burrow betwixt the bricks. Begin log. Dr. Jasper crests a hill and discovers his hair-like acquaintance tending to a patch of cabbages. Good afternoon, stranger. Except, pardon me, we've met before, haven't we? Dr. Jaspers. Good morning. I believe so, yes. 3 years ago, if memory serves. I remember now. You ran off in quite a hurry. Dr. Jaspers. Yes, my apologies for that. At that time, I was new here and wary of those I encountered. Still the apologetic tone. I see. No matter. You're not from here. Very interesting. What woods are you from? Dr. Jaspers. I do not come from any woods. Nonsense. Suddenly you have trees where you're from, do you not? Dr. Jaspers. We do have trees, but they're very sparse. Most of the land is covered in homes and businesses. Then they are inferior woods, but woods nonetheless. Tell me, how did you get here? Dr. Jaspers. I see you have an inquiring mind. I would like to ask you a question, if that's alright. Pardon my lack of manners. I consider myself something of a scholar, you see, and I get a bit excited when I have a chance to learn a forest outside my own. By all means, pose your question. Dr. Jaspers. When we last met, you said it had become difficult to describe your name. Do you have any theories of why that may be? I can only assume it's because of how long we've been apart, my name and I, that is. It was a good name, a proud name. I'm fairly sure. By this point, though, it's probably decayed from its former grandeur, if it even exists. Dr. Jaspers. Where do you think it is currently? First, fellow scholar, you must answer my previous question. Dr. Jasper nods. I came through the old but distinguished world at the end of the footpath I'm presently perambulating. The other individual hesitates before speaking. Oh, my. It's been quite some time. I'll be frank. I thought all the old allies had died out. Did your grandfather or some such relation have a lover out there? Dr. Jasper bows. He says, My deepest apologies. I'm afraid I cannot answer that question. Very well. I understand. I'd invite you to my cottage for tea, but I suppose that's not possible for you, is it? Dr. Jaspers. I'm afraid not. The conversation partner laughs and plucks a cabbage leaf and offers it to Dr. Jaspers. You needn't fear so much. Take this and be on your way. Dr. Jasper accepts the leaf with both hands. Thank you very much. And happy travels to you, and may you find the one you're looking for. That is the end of log. Afterward, Dr. Jaspers later used the cabbage leaf to feed a native entity resembling a field mouse, which in turn aided him on his travels. The final document I have is that of Encounter 3. The interviewer is, again, Dr. Eugene Jaspers, and the interviewer description is the leaf giver. Forward. Interview conducted in 2013 during Dr. Jasper's 9th expedition into yonder vale of restless wanderers. Due to the unique knowledge that the one who bore the gift of cabbage seemed to possess about our world, Dr. Jaspers was instructed to conduct a more thorough interview should it be encountered a third time. Additionally, Dr. Jaspers was granted special permission to make false statements for the sake of facilitating conversation, as his first encounter showed the fluffy one to be susceptible to deceptions. The fluffy one! Begin log. Traveling along the way of weary adventurers, Dr. Jaspers encounters a small white cottage with a thatched roof. A small opening in the shape of a rabbit's head is cut into the front door. Dr. Jaspers approaches it and knocks. Hello, Is anyone home? I am the fluffy one! Yeah! Yeah! Look at my bells! Wow! Is anyone home? There is a voice from beyond the door that is slightly muffled from the inside. Yes, 1 minute. Exactly 1 minute passes and the door opens. Ah! We meet again! Please come in, come in. Dr. Jaspers is led inside. The interior is sparsely decorated with wooden furniture and needlework. Dr. Jaspers says, "You have a lovely home." Ha! You have a lovely sense of humor. The homeowner hurries to a kitchenette in the corner and began to prepare a kettle. Dr. Jasper says, "No, really, I think it's charming." "I suppose. It was just meant to be until things cooled down on the other side, but, well, you know." Dr. Jaspers, "I'm afraid I don't know. Would you like some help?" No. You just have yourself a seat at the table over there while I get the tea ready for us." Dr. Jasper draws a chair and seats himself. "You're most generous, but I don't think my digestion would permit it." "Oh, poor fellow. Well, I find the presence of tea to be a comfort in any case." Dr. Jasper says, "You're most kind. Tell me, could you explain what you meant by cooled down?" His third host turns the stove on and stares out a window cutting a similar shape as the hole on the door. "Your relations didn't tell you the full story, I suppose, about the turmoil that drove us here?" Dr. Jasper, "Us? Turmoil? Was there a war?" The tufted one sighs. "Isn't there always?" Dr. Jasper says, "My grandparents did tell me there were wars, but I never knew one of them with you and your kind." "It doesn't surprise me. There are very few even in these woods that still remember. Memory is the burden of the old, I suppose. But yes, when I was a young lad, in a form very different from the one I possess now, I live on the other end of the world. It's where I was born, where I grew up, and if I dare to dream, where I will someday return." Dr. Jasper says, "Why don't you then?" At this point, the kettle whistles. And the entity says, "I can't. Not unless I know I could be welcomed back." The maker of the tea pours a cup and seats itself across the table. "I'm sure you don't know this, since they keep themselves hidden, but there are those who would destroy me at the nearest chance. Ah, my apologies. These are dark memories. I'm sure you don't want to hear about them." The teller of the story sips its tea. Dr. Jasper says, "No, please go on. These things are of interest to me. I'm a fellow scholar, remember?" "As you wish, fellow scholar. I shall talk until the tea is cold." Then it clears its throat. "As much as it grieves me to say it, we were betrayed. We had fought side by side, you know, in the war against that factory. We had done nothing but help them, and what did they do? They destroyed us. They took so many of our lives, and all of our names. Some of us fled here when the war was just beginning, but not many. Not many. Still though, I don't hate them." Dr. Jasper says, "I'm glad for that." "I imagine so. There's some old fogies around these parts who bear a grudge against the whole species, but I know you're not all bad. There were many who sheltered us, fought for us, and even died for us. Some came to live here amongst us." Amorgus. Amorgus, get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head. Oh my gosh. "Some came to live here amongst us, rest their souls. I myself called it a human once upon a time. He came to live a time or two, but I never saw him after that." PTSD reaction. Oh my gosh, there's not a single day where like I don't my mind doesn't pop to a Amorgus reference. And then if it's not a word, you know that like gif of the Amogus twerking with its butt like swinging around like wah wah wah. Yeah, like it just plays on repeat in my head. And like I have that condition where like I can't actually see images in my brain, right? Like, you know how most people, they can like, if they think of like an apple, they can see an apple in their head. I can't see anything. I see pitch black. But for some reason, I can picture that Amogus gif. It's the only thing I can see in my brain. Oh, I myself courted a human once upon a time. He came to visit a time or two, but I never saw him after that. I still wonder now and again if he felt the hand of an unkind neighbor, or if he merely stopped caring to see me. But it's no matter now. I apologize for prattling on about old flames. Certainly such things are of no interest to you, fellow scholar. Dr. Jasper says. On the contrary, I quite like to hear more of these memories, or stories. The life of you and your people is of great interest to me. I'm sure it is, fellow scholar. A strong breeze moves through the house. Neither party speaks for half a minute. The rabbit person who lives there grunts and places a hand to its head as if in pain. Dr. Jasper places his hand against the teapot. The curse to not be able to imagine things, and the curse to only see Amogus. Yeah. I wish I was joking, Michal, but it's real. It's actually really real. The only thing I can see in my brain is the Amogus. And actually, I didn't even know that, like, it's normal for people to see stuff in their brain until I think it was like 2 years ago, when I was chatting to some of my artist friends, and they're like, yeah, you know that most people can do that. But yeah, like I've never been able to. My world has always been black. Black and desolate and empty. It's a void. When I say there's nothing in my head, I mean it. Dr. Jasper finally says, it appears the tea has gotten quite cold. I think it's time I took my leave. The entity's speech is slightly slurred. What? You're leaving? I should leave too then. Dr. Jasper rises from the table. No. I'll be going alone, thank you. It's abrupt, yes, and I'm grievously sorry to do this, but I really must be going. I believe I'm long overdue to return home. What is... Please, don't go. Something isn't... Dr. Jasper says. It can't be helped. Stop! What have you done? I don't know who... What happened to my name? I can't... Dr. Jasper quickly exits the house. His former companion whimpers and looks at his hand as he leaves. Dr. Jasper says, it does taste rather tart. Afterward, Dr. Jasper successfully returned to Site-08 but was reported missing soon after. Investigations into his disappearance and current whereabouts have been inconclusive. It was initially theorized that Dr. Jasper was exposed to an anomalous influence on his psychological... physiology during his most recent mission. However, thorough analysis showed no genetic abnormalities in the fur he'd shed on his expedition gear. Oh! Dr. Jasper goofed. Dr. Jasper messed up. I was rereading the log to see where Dr. Jasper messed up. It is after Dr. Jasper had correlated with the rabbit person on their lifetime story, and this third entity refers to Dr. Jasper as a fellow scholar. Now, you might remember from the expedition rules, you should not respond to any sort of, you know, naming that these abnormalist entities give you. But Dr. Jasper kind of did. So yeah, Dr. Jasper got replaced. Dr. Jasper got skinwalked, and now he's being Omega sussied, and now we have a extraterrestrial from the dimension beyond, Amogus. It's Amogus. And that is the end of the documents that are listed on the SCP wiki as taboo. Redacted per Protocol 4000 SU. Thank you for the brain-dead translation. No worries, I know, I got you. I got you. You know, Ruuna Starbright's got that skibbity toilet intelligence, right? So yeah, for any of you who don't know, like, I can give you the layman terms. Also, not gonna lie, like, I kept hearing like noises in my house, and like door slamming. I don't think it's in my house. I think it's in my apartment complex, but I keep hearing like noises and door slamming and stuff, and it was just really creepy, you know, because I'm home alone, and like reading this gave me chills. Okay, that was a chunky SCP. I'm gonna drink some tea to hydrate my throat. Hiya. Oh, yum 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 yum. Alrighty. Now this next one is a pretty short SCP. It's pretty well known, I believe, for people who frequent the SCP people here. That's fear, you know? This one is SCP-682. It's also, I believe, known as the Indestructible monster. So, this image I have on the screen is SCP-682 shortly after escaping from containment, still recovering from acid immersion. Not gonna lie, like, the way that it lies is kinda cute. You know, like when you see a cat and it's lying on its side and it's like, oh, yum 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 yum. Yeah, like for some reason this image reminds me of a cat. I think SCP-682 is just a really big furless cat. Big furless cat. Okay. Whew, let's go. The item is SCP-682 and the object class is Keter. Special containment procedures. SCP-682 must be destroyed as soon as possible. At this time, no means available to SCP team are capable of destroying SCP-682, only able to cause massive physical damage. SCP-682 should be contained within a 5-meter square chamber. 5-meter square chamber? I can't believe 5-meter cubed chamber. Oh, chat, my maths, all my years of studying maths has accumulated to this moment. Reading 5-meter cubed as 5 meters squared. I'm Ruuna Starbright, I'm very smart. Okay, so SCP-682 should be contained within a 5-meter cubed chamber with 25-centimeter reinforced acid-resistant steel plate lining on all inside surfaces. The containment chamber should be filled with hydrochloric acid until SCP-682 is submerged and incapacitated. Any attempts of SCP-682 to move, speak, or breach containment should be reacted to quickly and with full force, as called for by the circumstances. Personnel are forbidden to speak to SCP-682 for fear of provoking a rage state. All unauthorized personnel attempting to communicate with SCP-682 will be restrained and removed by force. Due to its frequent attempts at containment breach, difficulty of containment and incapacitation, and high threat of Foundation exposure, SCP-682 is to be contained inside REDACTED. The Foundation will use the best of its resources to maintain all lands within 50 kilometers clear of human development. The description states that SCP is a large, vaguely reptile-like creature of unknown origins. It appears to be extremely intelligent and was observed to engage in complex communication with SCP-079 during the limited time of exposure. What is SCP-079? Interesting. Haha. Alright, I might read SCP-079 sometime. Anyway, SCP-682 appears to have a hatred of all life. Me too! He's like, me for real? I'm joking. So, it appears to have a hatred of all life, which has been expressed in several interviews during containment. See Addendum 682-B. SCP-682 has been observed to have extremely high strength, speed, and reflexes, though exact levels vary with form. SCP-682's physical body grows and changes very quickly, growing or decreasing in size as it consumes or shreds material. SCP-682 gains energy from anything it ingests, organic or inorganic. Digestion seems to be aided by a set of filtering gills inside SCP-682's nostrils, which are always able to remove usable matter from any liquid solution, enabling it to constantly regenerate from the acid it is contained in. SCP-682's regenerative capabilities and resilience are staggering, and SCP-682 has been seen moving and speaking with its body 87% destroyed or rotted. In case of containment breach, SCP-682 is to be tracked and recaptured by all available mobile task forces, and no teams with fewer than 7 members are clear to engage it. To date, redacted, attempted breaches have numbered at 17, while successful breaches have numbered at 6. See Addendum 682-D. Following this, we have Addendum 682-B, a portion of recorded transcript of Redacted, and this time the Redacted is in bright red, which is really comforting to see. Begin log, skip to 0 hours, 21 minutes, and 52 seconds. Dr. Redacted says, "Now, why did you kill those farmers?" SCP-682, no verbal communications. Dr. Redacted repeats, "If you do not talk now, we will remove you from this attempt and place you back into..." SCP-682 says something incomprehensible. Dr. Redacted, "Pardon?" and motions to move the microphone motions to move the microphone closer. Can you imagine, like, the SCP personnel just interviews everyone with a microwave? Here you go, bzzz, bing. Steaming and ready record. SCP-682 again says something incomprehensible. Dr. Redacted says, "Speak up," and says to personnel D-085, "Move the mic closer." SCP-682, "They were..." and then something incomprehensible. Dr. Redacted to personnel D-085, "That microphone only has so much gain. Move it closer to it." Personnel D-085, "His throat's messed up, man. Look at it. He ain't talking." And then personnel D-85 gasps and screams. SCP-682 appears to be assaulting D-085's body. "They were disgusting." And from this point on, Dr. Redacted retreats from the room. Wow. Following is Addendum 682D with breaches with SCP-682. I will note from first glance that it is a super redacted file. You can call this a zebra crossing. So, the first occurrence is on Redacted, and it's handled by Agent Redacted, and Agent Redacted, who was killed in action. Personnel D129 killed in action. Personnel D027 killed in action. Personnel D173, D200, and D139, the remaining 3 of which were also killed in action. The second occurrence was on a redacted date, handled by Agent Redacted, Dr. Redacted, and D124, Personnel D137, Personnel D201, D202, and D203. I believe that all the personnels were killed in action, but the remaining people who handled the breach survived. The third occurrence is again on a redacted date. It's handled by... I know, my personal favorite agent in Redacted. Redacted is kind of stupid, not gonna lie. Gosh, guys, have you seen Redacted? Their looks are just so redacted. I really love how their redacted hair is so redacted. My favorite part about their personality is that they're so redacted. And then one day we went on a outing at redacted time, at redacted location. We ate some ice cream and then we did some redacted things. That's crazy. Yep, I'm just gonna skim over all these occurrences of breaches because what I can tell you is they were handled by agents and personnel, etc., whose names have all been redacted, and most of them are killed in action. That is the TLDR of it. Okay, now we have Addendum 682E, Termination Options. Log of Event 682E18. Dr. Redacted attempts to use SCP-409 on SCP-682. General Redacted, and Dr. Redacted are observing. 0400 Exposure. SCP-682 began to tear the point of contact, causing massive trauma to the area. SCP-682 requests several times to know what it has been exposed to. Okay, 0800. Crystallization begins, spreading much slower than normal. 1200. SCP-682 showed signs of extreme pain and began to have seizures. At 1300, crystallization stops at 62% conversion. Crystallized areas explode, causing massive physical trauma to SCP-682. At 1400, SCP-682 recovers from exposure, despite the loss of limbs and organs. SCP-682 begins regeneration, stating that it will attempt to kill and consume all staff involved in Event 682E18. And now, SCP-682 appears to be immune to SCP-409. Use of other SCP items to terminate SCP-682 must now first be tested on samples of SCP-682 before full-scale testing. In accordance to Dr. Redacted's recommendations, see Document 27B6, Dr. Redacted and Dr. Redacted have requested permission to attempt the termination of SCP-682 using SCP-689. The request is currently pending approval from the Redacted. It has also been suggested by Dr. Gears to use SCP-182 in an attempt to communicate with SCP-682. SCP-182 has expressed reluctance and refuses to enter the containment center of SCP-682, if at all possible. So he's really not a popular guy, you know. SCP-682. Yeah, but lots of SCPs mentioned in this. I will quickly tell you guys that SCP-682 is he's just a guy. He's just a Caucasian male of average build, 45 years of age, and has pretty bad scarring. Essentially, he can enter the minds of other creatures, and perceive sight and sound through the senses, but apparently, you know, does not like SCP-682. Honestly, if it was me, I don't want to get ate like that too, so I understand. Phew, okay. Now, we have our final SCP. We have our final SCP. This one. It's SCP-455, and chat, I love location SCPs. I think location SCPs are one of my favorite types of SCP. I just think they're so haunting, and it's really cool how they tie to a real place. So this one is a long boy, and we're gonna have fun reading it. But before that, I might go quickly grab some water and go to the bathroom, and then we'll get started. I'll be back really soon. Yahoo! Hello! Kinito Pet. Hello, fellow researcher. Welcome to our SCP readings. We are reading some log files. Also, first time chatting. We have a lot of first time chatters today. Hello! Oi hoi! Oh, also chat. Another reason why I was really creeped out actually before when I heard doors slamming is because for this stream there was a lot of outside noise today because of freaking leaf blowers. I hate leaf blowers. Ban leaf blowers. So I had closed all my doors. I had closed every single door in my home. So logically there shouldn't be any door slamming in my house, but I heard door slamming. So I was like, ah. But maybe it's just because I'm really sensitive to sound. So wait, okay, water. It is SCP-455 we are reading for our final SCP of today. It is a location SCP, and the image on the screen is SCP-455 in the waters. The item is SCP-455 and the object class is Euclid. Special containment procedures. Object SCP-455 cannot be moved nor in containment. Object SCP-455 cannot be moved or contained in any structure. Containment must be made on site. No explorations or testing is to be made or in SCP-455. No personnel are to remain in close proximity for more than 5 minutes. All physical contact with SCP-455 is forbidden. Any personnel breaking this order will be quarantined. Any hallucinations experienced near SCP-455 are to be recorded and logged. Any personnel experiencing hallucinations are to be transferred. Any personnel attempting to enter 455 are to be restrained by any means deemed necessary. The description is that SCP-455 is a large cargo ship currently run aground on the southern coast of Chile. Most of its structure is underwater and badly damaged, with rust coating 85 to 90% of all surfaces. Internal structure appears to be significantly larger than external dimensions and is not flooded despite large holes visible on the outer hull. Internal structure appears to be a random assembly of rooms, halls, and structures. Initial salvage teams reported rooms made of human teeth, an engine with tendon strips for timing belts, a hole extending for 182.88 meters, which is 600 feet, beyond where the outer hull should terminate, an open gym room with steel walls as pliant as taffy, and numerous audio and visual hallucinations. Team was lost after reporting entry to Central Navigation. Rescue team lost after reporting the investigation of screaming in a cargo section. Dr. Redacted has suggested the use of robots to map the interior of SCP-455 after the failure of several manned exploration teams. I also have 2 logs in this file. The first one is Experiment Log 455, which details the attempts of exploration in SCP-455 and information established despite the failures overall. What a way to describe something. Can you imagine? It's like, hey, I tried really hard for this, and they're like, good job, you did do something useful despite your failure overall. That's harsh. Story of my life though. Oh no, I closed the log. Wait. Open. I closed the log. Here we go. Okay. So this one is SCP Experiment Log 455. And it is the first encounter of Team 3, which then begins with the explorative logs of SCP-455. Initial reports of disappearance of a salvage operation regarding SCP-455 led to its classifications in our database. A research team of 5 members was dispatched to confirm status of civilian researchers. This team consisted of 2 field analysts and 3 security personnel. Due to the low threat level initially given to a breached cargo vessel, no direct contact was kept with this team. Team orders required 1 contact to the Control HQ every 24 hours. After 3 days of uneventful activity, team failed to report in, and after 2 days of lost contact, a secondary team was dispatched to investigate lapse in communication. This team consisted of 10 standard field agents with standard gear for confrontation with humanoid aggressors. A research of the vicinity of SCP-455 discovered encampment of the first research team in a condition that suggested an anticipated return. A rice cooker left running for several days contained heavily burnt food. Research laptops were left on and running, powered by the camp's portable generator. An analysis of the reports on the laptop indicated minimal activity of note from the site or from SCP-455 up until the date of ceased communication. The last entry mentioned recordings of human voices coming from deep within SCP-455 and the departure of the team to investigate for possible missed survivors from the salvage operation. After reporting in the state of Team 1's camp, Team 2 was ordered to maintain consistent radio contact through the remote system already on camp. What follows is an abbreviated transcript of the audio recorded during Team 2's investigations of SCP-455 in search of Team 1. Okay, so I have the first log here. HQ, this is T2L, please respond. T2L, this is HQ, we have you loud and clear, over. Understood. Understood. Understood, HQ. We are above deck on vessel now. Sun is still up. We can see into the hold, but not very far. Flashlights also aren't helping matters much. We're foregoing direct descent into the hull and are going to use the stairs to the crew decks and access it from there, so we're not separated. Is this acceptable, HQ? Over. Roger, T2L. You have complete discretion from here onward. Over. We've been out of contact with Team 1 for a couple of days now already. A few more minutes won't hurt them. Proceed swiftly but cautiously. Okay, inconsequential audio is deleted. HQ, this is T2L. We've got an anomaly here, over. T2L, this is HQ. What is the situation? We're on deck 3 so far of the vessel, sir, but it has taken us like half an hour to get down this far. Something not quite right about the distance between the floors for us to spend 10 minutes getting between each. Understood, T2L. We suggest you send one member back up on the surface and have him return. Please update us on the elapsed time. Over. And then inconsequential audio deleted. T2L here, HQ. We sent up a man as advised and he returned in 4 minutes. Sent him back twice in a sprint, 2 minutes. We all recorded 30 to get down this far at least, and we all recorded our scout's returns time as well. There's definitely something inconsistent. Proceed as planned, T2L. Time lapses have been recorded, but we see no need to abort mission over this. Please use precautions when these lapses occur and immediately try to raise us should you suspect one, so we can confirm time since last contact. In addition, if radio silence is encountered, use utmost discretion. T2L respond? T2L. Following. Inconsequential audio is deleted. HQ, this is T2L. Please repeat. T2L, where the flying first fuck have you been? We were just talking, sir. How long ago? Sir? 30 seconds? Maybe 50? Guys, yeah, less than a minute. T2L, please be advised we've been out of contact with you for 16 hours, give or take. Over. Sir, that can't be right. You were just... Listen, I don't know what the shit is going on out there, but this is what I want you to do. Get to the bottom of these stairs, search the hold, report back as soon as you get there, then get the fuck back out. Do I make myself clear? Sir, yes sir. Out. And then after some time, with inconsequential audio deleted. So we're apparently at the bottom of the ship now, 5 floors down by our count. Standard for a cargo vessel this size. We're approaching the hold now and... T2L, this is HQ, and? Something is odd about the door, sir. Details, T2L. Define odd. Well, it's pristine, sir. The rest of the ship is something of a shithole, but this door looks like it just came out of the metal press. Noted, T2L. Proceed through using maximum caution. Weapons ready. Sir, yes, sir. Proceeding to open door. And you hear background lock system can be heard disengaging. We're looking into the code now, sir. And moving forward. Remaining silent for now, T2L. Focus on the searching and hold and getting topside. There is more background sound of door slamming closed. And lock system rotating back into place. Oh fuck, did you close that? The sound is getting fainter. No sir, it did on its own. T2L is speaking now. What the hell? We appear to be locked in now, HQ, but we can see daylight above us, so we can probably rappel out if the door won't. What is that? HQ, there appear to be people down here with us. Estimated 15 or so people in the corner huddled together. They look injured. We are approaching. Hey, that's Don. Don, man, wake up. Wake. Oh no. HQ, come in. HQ, come in. Come in. T2L, this is HQ. What is it? We found the salvage team and the first team. They're here and I don't know if they're alive or not, but they're... T2L, they're what? T2L, come in. Wait, where did Ramses go? He was right. Daniel, Vincent? What the hell? HQ, come in. We just lost 4 team members. T2L, makes sense. What do you mean, lost? I hear no weapon fire. They're just gone, sir. They were standing behind us at flank and they're just gone. Spencer? What? Someone shine a light on Spencer. Where did he go? T2L, what's going on in there? HQ, we've lost 4 men apparently. They were just at the rear of us and now they're gone. Following is the unknown sound similar to sliding metal. T2L, respond? Respond. Where the hell did he go now? HQ, come in. T2L, we're here, please respond. Okay, now we're getting a bit hysterical with... Oh shit, they responded. Guys, HQ responded. HQ, this is Baker. I'm here with Jensen and Thomas from Team 2 sent to... We know who you're with, Baker. We're just talking to T2L about 10 seconds ago. Where is... HQ, we haven't heard from you in 2 weeks. We're out of rations, though we found some food in one of the crew rooms. T2L has been dead since we were in the hold. He went to investigate the people in the hold, and as soon as he approached them, that hatch in the back, it flew open, made a huge noise. We all turned to look at it, then back at T2L, and he was gone. Him and those people in the corner, just gone. Like the others. We searched the ship up and down, and never found him. Did you return to the surface for supplies, Baker? That ship should only be about 5 floors at most. We never thought to do that. This ship is at least 30 floors, HQ, at least. But we found a crew quarters with food and we've been... Baker, our first team reported that ship has been ashore for at least 30 years, maybe more. What exact food did you find there that was edible? Baker? 30 years? Baker, listen closely. I want you and whoever is left to get topside immediately. We are dispatching a rescue team to... And then we get gunshots. More gunshots. Baker! More gunshots. Baker, come in. What the fuck is going on over there? And that is the end of the audio logs. A third team of heavily armed recon units was dispatched to SCP-455 site and investigated the cargo hold from above deck using high-powered flashlights and flares. No traces of any life was in the hold, nor was there any trace that there had ever been life there. Reports indicate a layer of dust and rust approximated to be about an inch thick as determined by the cloud and dispersal caused by dropping of flares into the hold. Team 3 was recalled at a high-priority research team was deployed to SCP-455 for deeper investigation as to the fate of all 3 missing groups. Voice act gunshots don't cheat. Okay, next up I'll go pa 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 bee bong. Thank you for the what was it? Constructive criticism. How next time I'll make sure to go bam boom bill, you know. Bam. Okay, we have Team 3. After the failure of the first 2 teams dispatched to SCP-455, a third team was put together and sent. This team was composed of more veteran members with far more experience exploring and investigating sites of interest or risk. This team was composed of 5 persons and included an additional technician who would remain outside SCP-455 at all times to maintain communication link to the team. Unknown to Team 3, a 4th team coded Ripcord, composed of 5 members as well, was put on standby on site approximately 10 miles away. The purpose was an emergency evac of Team 3 should it become necessary, and they were to proceed to SCP-455 site immediately after Team 3 entered to reduce respawn time. Team 3's issued gear included 2 separate video recording units, one issued to the leader, T3L, and one to a video specialist, T3V. This was deemed necessary due to the lapses in time experienced during Team 2's investigation. One member of Team 3 was instructed to enter SCP-455 through the cargo loading area directly and would be tethered to land by a pulley system. HQ. T3L. This is HQ. We are online and receiving feeds over. T3L. Roger HQ, this is T3L. We are preparing to enter the ship via the stairs. Evans is in position at the cargo hold. HQ. Understood. Proceed through both entrances and move directly to the cargo hold to rendezvous with Evans. T3V is recording his descent and all floodlights are active within the hold, as well as the ones on the deck. Team 3's primary force proceeded down the stairs into SCP-455, while its secondary unit descended into the cargo hold where Team 2 disappeared. Within 3 minutes of descending into SCP-455, the primary force's video feed ended. The secondary force experienced no issues at all and waited in the cargo hold under the observation of T3V, who recorded what consisted of 5 minutes of Evans walking in circles, dancing a brief jig, and waving up at the camera. HQ considered sending T3V to investigate the stairs, but it was decided that full attention should be paid to Evans, who was within SCP-455 and experiencing no abnormalist activity. During mounting concern on whether to abort or proceed with the mission, T3L's video feed returned. HQ says, T3L, respond immediately, over. We lost feed to you. What happened? T3L says, HQ, come in. For God, you're there, oh God. This is T3L, we lost 2 men. Somehow the rest of us are alive, but this place, it's... HQ? T3L, how much time has passed for your unit? T3L. Time, 10 hours, sir. We came here 10 hours ago and... HQ. Now, slow down, T3L. Are you in a safe location at this current moment? T3L, yes, we're finding this room seems to be a food storage. HQ. Touch nothing in that room, T3L, and listen closely to me. The mission has been in progress for 5 minutes. Evans is in the hold, apparently doing the hammer now. Listen, I want you to detail to me exactly what has happened, and do not leave that room. Do not eat anything in that room. Take a breath, secure the entryway, and talk to me. T3O explained that they had proceeded down 20 floors within the ship when divers have established that it can't possibly have been more than 6 to the exterior. During this time, T3V was instructed to raise Evans back out of the cargo area and secure him topside. T3O. Okay. Relax, okay. Oh, HQ. Okay, so we proceeded down the stairs as normal. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary until we noticed we had gone down far more flights than it should have taken to get to the bottom, to enter the cargo area. We sent Eric up to retrace our steps and he was only able to go up 2 floors. We had descended, at my count, at least 15. There was no hatch back to the surface. The stairs just went up to the ceiling and ended. We could hear his every word from his location. Eric then said the hatch to the floor was open and he saw someone in it leaning against a wall. They were well within earshot of us as well, but hadn't reacted to any of our conversation. HQ. Keep going, T3L. T3L. So, Eric, he goes through the hatch to try and figure out who this person is. They haven't moved, hadn't shown any hostility, and according to him, they weren't even looking in our direction, like we didn't exist to them. Suddenly, we heard gunfire, so the entire team rushed up 2 flights, and just like he said, the stairs just stopped at the ceiling and no floor hatch was... Oh, and the floor hatch was open. Nobody was in that hallway, not a soul. No Eric, no second person, no bullet shells, nothing. Nothing but the walls. HQ. The walls? T3L. The walls were wrong, hazy, like you're viewing them through a gas leak. They were flowing in fluid, just wrong. I closed the hatch. I don't know why I didn't go in and look for Eric, but I felt like I couldn't. I wrote him off as lost immediately. I wasn't going in there or sending any of my men in there after him. HQ. Understood, T3L. Keep going. T3L. So, the rest of the squad, we go back down the stairs, can't go up, not going in that hallway. All the rest of the floors were closed off. We went down maybe 10 more flights. Then the stairs started changing. They were solid metal, like aluminum, but now there were holes in the steps, and the metal looked rusted in some places. Old, like the rest of the ship. Up until now, everything had seemed rather clean. It didn't dawn on me immediately that the clean parts were actually stranger than the old parts. T3L continues by saying, we found a food storage area down here. Everything seems to be in good shape, but we didn't touch any of it yet. I read the Team 2 logs. I sent a man out into the hall to see what we could do on this floor. There seems to be a series of ladders in a group at the far end, but the entirety of this floor is food storage. It actually doesn't make sense why there's so many of these rooms. I'm talking over 20 on this one floor, and they're all big enough for 10 people to stand inside and have room to move. Some of them are locked, probably for the best. HQ says. And the ladders? T3O says. We haven't gone down them yet. Wanted to see if we could get someone down from outside first. HQ, down? They go down? What in the flaming shit is this going on? Okay. Sweet dapper Jesus of the Gentleman's Club. Look, I don't want to put any of you at risk, but we need to find your way out of there. If you can't go back up, you can only go down. Only send one man. T3V and Evans are topside and perfectly fine. We're sending a diving crew around the ship exterior to see if we can pinpoint your location inside using its thermal. T3O. Understood, sir. Contact with T3O was lost after this transmission and remained disconnected for 12 hours. Divers around SCP-455 could not effectively scan the ship wreckage through thermal, as the ship exhibited temperature far higher than the water surrounding it. At sunrise, T3V and Evans were ordered to return to SCP-455 and reinvestigate the ship through cargo hold. Upon activation of the cargo lights, all missing members of Team 3 were found within the cargo hold in an apparently catatonic state. Only the member Eric, who went missing per the Team 3 recordings, was unaccounted for. All remaining members remained in a state of stasis until removed from the ship and left undisturbed for approximately an hour. All recall moving down the mentioned ladders in the last transmission, but nothing after that point that would lead them to being in the cargo hold. Team 3 exploration ended and robotic exploration is now a viable option. Finally, I have the exploration log, record 4553, which is the record of the last major exploration attempted by MTF Zeta 9. And this is a slightly shorter log, but it starts with a central record notation. Following document contains the whole and entirety of exploration log record 4553. Emissions are as follows, such as key names as detailed in CR Law 18813D, subsection 4. Key dates as detailed in CR Law 18817E, subsection 5, 8, and O5 level discretionary omissions as detailed in CR Law 137A. Requests for omitted data may be remanded to Central Records for address during quarterly review hearings. Emergency recall may be granted on direct approval from 305 members. From 305 command members. Exploration team personnel consists of 3 MTF Zeta 9 members, Mr. A, Mr. R, and Miss S. 2 agents, Mr. G and Sir K. Oh my god, I want to be called Sir K. I don't know, something about the name Sir K. And one class D subject, D11. Team is equipped with basic foundation equipment package for semi-aquatic or hostile environment exploration, in addition to the Mark V Heavy Recon. Nautilus class suits issued to Zeta 9 team members. 2 mobile recon vehicles, commonly called MARVs, are also issued. Mission time begins at 800 hours on date redacted. MARV 1 malfunctions during initial transfer of team from observation platform to SCP-455 and is recalled. MARV 2 continues normal operation and remains in the water as the team climbs the deck of SCP-455. G says, "Holy hell, how is this heap even staying afloat?" A, "It's not floating, it's grounded out. This is just the part that sticks up." G, "Is it even safe to walk on? What if it gives way?" S, "Oh, relax, big boy. You've been on deck for over 30 seconds. You already beat the last team's time." Radio silence for 10 seconds, and the team proceeds to the cabin area near the center station of SCP-455 with MARV-2 following at sea level. D11. Oh no, hell no, not a chance. You can shoot my happy ass, but I'm not going down there. Okay. It's not a request walk, or be strapped to the MARV and floated. Your choice. D11. What a bullshit way to make a parole. Don't do crime, chat. Otherwise, otherwise you'll end up like D11. Don't do crime. A says, okay, kiddos, mask on. Rats can't air from here out. R is your seal. Is your steel still? Is your seal still good? That's a real word, you know. R is your seal still good? Let me check. Good. G. Get those tanks on D11. Team proceeds down the main stairwell of the cabin area. Area below is mostly flooded. MARV-2 joins team via large puncture below the waterline. A. Nothing weird yet. We have a small chamber with holes off to the left and right. MARV-2 appears to be working fine. Hi guys! S. I said left. Left keeps us in the ship proper. Right seems to be snaking off outside physical dimensions. K says, we go right. We are under advisement to explore the extra-dimensional segments for possible details. S repeats and says, no, we go left. Right will take us down the rabbit hole of screw much too fast. K says, this is not a discussion. And then they start fighting. This is not a discussion. Listen, asshole, what the fuck is... S, let go. This is not a... I will touch my foot. And then R is just like, guys. There is a sudden burst of radio static, along with several inarticulate voices and the sound of grinding metal. This sound continues for 8 seconds. A. Jesus. S. Did we just rock? G says, A. Is there any record of movements in 455? A replies, not one. Guys, can you still see us? Any movements from 455? Base team reports 0 movements of any kind from or around SCP-455. K says, where the hell is Class D? There are several seconds of radio silence. S says, I had eyes on him the whole time. He was against this wall. What? A says, what is... Oh, are you kidding? R, get your pick and get out of that wall. R says, metal can't do that. It's like it's rusted the tooth out right along with it. S says, it's like it's been there for ages. 3 seconds of radio silence. K says, D11 is now missing. Presumed dead or unable to be retrieved. Proceeding down right hallway. Let's move. The team proceeds down the hallway, followed by MARV-2. Video data shows hallway slightly tilted to the right with 80% flooding. Team is equipped with wetsuits and air tanks. All equipment appears to be working normally. A says, shit, we have contact. K says, let me... Oh. Reporting, water appears to end abruptly at the end of the hall. It appears some sort of force is keeping the water out of the next chamber. The division is very precise and can be crossed without incident. It's like an invisible force. S says, Christ, the room is so damn blue. It's really bright, looks almost fresh. R says, dead end too. Looks like we go left after all, but... Gee, the hallway's gone. A, the fuck? Dude, oh, shit. Visual contact with team is suddenly lost for 2 seconds. Once contact is resumed, MARV-2 shows a flooded cargo section of SCP-455. No traces of team is seen anywhere. MARV-2 is unresponsive to controls for 22 seconds. MARV-2 suddenly accelerates at a much higher velocity than it is capable of, impacting with a rusted wall. Video continues for 4 seconds after impact. plant matter observed during the last 2 seconds of video matches no known species and appeared exceptionally hostile. Base team is unable to send transmissions to exploration team. Okay. The entry hall is now gone. It appears the floor now opens onto a shaft with several ladders going down. The top of the shaft is in line with the top of the hatch door. There appears to be water leakage from several seams on the roof with... G says, I can't see the bottom, I mean, at all. That thing goes down a mile. K says, with some flaking rust falling as well. The mouth appears to have vanished as well. A? Okay, we go down and look for the nearest exit point or way up. If we don't find anything in half an hour, I want R and S to start excavation. I want R and S to start excavation charges on the wall until something opens up. R says, roger that. I'll start now if you like. A. Everyone down the hall, watch your feet. If anything feels weak, skip to the next rung. I want safety lines on every... There are several seconds of metallic screeching, along with 2 bass throbs. Contact is lost for 4 seconds. And then you get audio transmission of the team in panic as they are screaming, down, 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 down. God, it's closing up, it's my shepherd. I shall. Blow the floor for fuck's sake. And get out. And then we have 18 seconds of radio silence. The following is a audio transmission of K, A, and S, who are screaming, it's in his bloody eye, it's in... Help him up, just get him over there. Mary, full of grace. There are 4 heavy bass throbs followed by screeching. Sounds appear to be compromised of many individuals, with many non-human animal and mechanical sounds being isolated. Following is A, who says, something teen weeks. I can't find them anymore. The way is too curved. I can't drag. And then, radio silence for 8 seconds. K. The other day, upon the stair, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. Oh, how I wish he'd go away. And G. Oh, God, make it stop crying. Radio contact is lost for 20 minutes. Mission called as failure at 0813 hours. Sporadic contact made over the next 2 weeks, recorded as follows. Beginning with A. My foot is evaporating. R. Help, 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 help! And then R going. S. Lee out there. It's just an illusion of a fish. Oh, Jesus, please. G. K. 20 seconds of a single sustained scream. And then following with K going, yes, I just... A. Home. I want my home. I don't want to feel the rusting me anymore. I would... S. Soft crying. Barely audible. G. Got it. I shot it. A. Re-up maybe. We haven't tried upping a few days. S. I'll eat it, but not because... And finally, a transmission from D11. It's called. No radio contact with team reported beyond this point. Radio monitoring is ongoing. Single report 1 month after mission end of Miss S observed waving from the deck. Report filed by single watch guard and not verified by any other resources. And that's the end of SCP-455. Following these 2 exploration logs, or exploration has been postponed indefinitely. And that's it. Yay! Yippee! We did it! We did it! Thank you all so much for staying. I think this is the longest SCP we've reading. We are reading all this has evaporated all my brain cells. I think this is the longest SCPs that we've read. Thank you for staying, Mihao. If I am not wrong, it's like really late for you. So thank you so much for staying. I hope that you get nice streams tonight with these scary stories as president. I really enjoyed reading this. So yeah, I think maybe I'll do some again next week. It's been really fun. And I'll call it for today. So thank you so much for coming. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye. Oh, Togami! Bye, Sino. Togami! You pulled a Sino. Sino missed it yesterday, but it's okay. We'll be back next week with more SCP readings. I'm just signing off today, but thank you so much for dropping by. It's okay. The VOD will still be up there. The VOD will be on my YouTube as well. So it's totally fine, you know? The roles reverse. How the turntables! But yeah, thank you for still dropping by my stream. I really appreciate it. Oh, also one quick update before I end my stream. So yesterday I went back to all my previous VODs on YouTube and I put timestamps into my stream of when the chatting starts, when the stream starts, and when the stream ends for ease of access. So yeah, the streams will be more accessible now, I think, in terms of timestamp. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you for popping by. I'll see you guys next week. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you for coming. Bye.